Finally back. It is March 24th. Kristen is here just in time. As always, thank you. Let's get it started. How's it going, guys? Matt here with Carolina Coops. Welcome to Video Chicken. To my left is my host, Kristen Warren.
I think this one really could be a male.
Oh, we got one that's hatching? This show is for you guys. This is the bass fiber. Y'all know chickens are the gateway drug into homesteading.
We survived with only one trip to the ER. Coyotes are everywhere.
It's about time you show up, Matt. It's a great straw.
It is time, finally, for chicken police. They defecate every 12 seconds. Is that true? Now it is officially noon because the buzzer went off.
Well, I've never counted.
Long
More
road.
coops.
That's a good one with the courts and everything.
And more chickens.
Well, the math you do now, Daddy, is chicken math.
Calm down, Matt.
But-
Calm down.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Video Chicken Live. Yes, we are live. We are back. It is March 24th, 2023. We had a beautiful hot day today for today's show. Kristen, to my left here, our chickenista, chicken expert. Thank you for being here today. How are you doing?
I am happy to be here today.
Yes. Have you missed being here?
I have.
Yeah, it's been what, 3, 4 weeks? I don't know what our time off was.
I think 3 weeks.
3 weeks? That's not too bad. So thank you guys for coming
It felt
back.
like a year.
Oh, you're lying, though. You're fibbing. Also here is Ingrid behind the computer, making sure everything looks good, sounds good. It's been a little bit, so make sure. We haven't touched anything, I don't think. But if anything doesn't...
things have been touched.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, because we have a cat now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Where is he? Is he
Oh,
here?
my God. I was in here this morning, and I've never had a kitten before. I've never had a male kitten before. They're insane. They are nuts. He has taken more screenshots walking across my keyboard. He thinks he can do email. I wish he would do email.
He's got those big paws.
Oh my gosh. We'll have to bring him in
They're
here
like
in a little
oven
bit.
mitts.
Yeah, I got to show you guys the newest member of the Carolina Coops family. His name is Leo.
Coming in hot.
No, not right now.
Yeah.
Right now, already.
I've always wanted to
say goodbye to everything
the
that's on the
kitty pet.
table. Oh my goodness. All right, so
stroking the cat.
here's the other thing. I don't have a mouse. None of my mice will work. Oh, here we come. Here, bring Leo in. We'll get this out of the way. We have our newest member. I'll show you guys Leo. This was on my bucket list, and it was on my dad's bucket list.
Mine
And
too.
One of the reasons why I wanted to get a Maine Coon. So this is Leo. He is a blue smoke. He will have his eyes are turning gold.
He is the office kitty.
Yeah, so he is a Maine Coon. He is a North American breed, the largest domestic breed. They supposedly, I believe. I'm not a cat person quite as much as this one. He is a sweetheart. And
Are they bigger than the Norwegian forest cat?
Yes.
Well, his lineage is quite large.
I don't know what lineage means.
His ancestors, his family.
Yeah, so Maine Coons get really big. His father is gigantic. I got him in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I did search for animal rescues. One day when I do get to retire, I want to be an animal rescue. I think it'd be so much fun. Just let him go hog wild. Anyway, so yeah, this is Leo. Picked him up in Tulsa. Right after the reason, just to let you guys know, and I appreciate all the comments and thoughts that have come in. If you guys were here for our last show, you might remember at the very end, a phone call came through, and it's what I thought it was. It was I had to get out to Texas right away. My father did pass. I was able to be out there with him for his final 4 days, which I'm thankful for. So I apologize about not being here. It went well. It went the way he wanted it. And we are back. So, again, thank you so much for all the thoughts and prayers getting us through that.
Yeah, you had a lot of people call in.
Yeah. All right. So, moving on. We have another guest today. I always say her name wrong. Dalia. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Dalia from Chickenlandia. She is in the green room right now. We've had her on before. She is just one of the most amazing people to talk to when it comes to backyard chickens. And I'm so jealous. we need to do this. And I don't like to read, but she has, I think it's her first book that just came out, so we want to talk about this. I promise there's not holes through that. That's just the green screen. And that is Dalia right on the front. What a beautiful lady. Beautiful
It's called
photo.
Let's All Keep Chickens.
Yes.
And
I
you
can agree with that.
She has the best glasses. So we're going to bring her in about 10 minutes and talk about her book. And, of course, if you guys have any questions for us, whether it's chickens, chicken coops, and or questions for Dalia, please let us know because this show is for you guys.
And it's Mike Trapp's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mike.
Yes, Mr. Trapp, happy birthday. We should start a tradition where we do. You're not going to let him go, are you?
No.
Well, when he wants to go, he can go.
Look at the way you're holding him like a little ball of cat.
I haven't been able to hold on to him in the past week, and I don't know what you're doing different.
Well, I did slather myself with like tuna before I came in.
I was wondering what I was smelling. I was like, no, man. We do have his litter box in here. Did you see the high tech?
Yeah, I
was
did.
Kidding about the tuna.
I heard it. I was like, what is that noise? And I was like, oh, that's the fancy litter box.
That's right.
Moving stuff around.
Also, just a little bit of a teaser. We're going to be making a phone call later on in the show. And I'm not going to say what the phone call is about because it might tip them off. I promise you, if they answer, you're going to be in one. It's going to be a fun show. I'm going to do the best.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you do. Well, right. So I promise you probably, I'm not sure how long we'll be talking to Dalia, but our shows tend to go a lot longer than normal, which I'm happy to say because we have so much fun here. And we're going to be making a phone call live on the air.
Also, an announcement, Matt doesn't have his mouse today.
Yeah. This is driving me nuts. I tried. I thought I said that in the beginning.
Did you? Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
No, I'm going to turn them both back
Have you
on.
been cut off?
Tell me about it. I don't know.
How fun.
Yeah. So, what has anything been going on since we've been gone? You said it was 3 weeks. We're back.
Well, I have that little gift for Kristen if she wants to. If you want to do that now or later.
Oh, well, let's go ahead and do it now. We got a couple more minutes before we bring Dalia in.
What, this?
Yeah.
The plant?
Yeah, you had to put it in front of you because people won't know what it is.
Well,
Not even
it's
still.
the first invisible plant. So if you're worried about growing marijuana
It's
and you don't,
not.
oh, okay.
So this is a black walnut because I know you got your black walnut cut down, and I know this is small, but
Oh, that's so nice.
I saw it growing out, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pot that up for Kristen, and it's potted in chicken poo, so like chicken soil, so.
That's the best gift ever.
So that's your little black walnut. So just in another 30 years, it'll be just like the one that got cut down and stolen.
I don't smell chicken poo.
Of course you don't. Wow.
Thank you.
That
So
is
That is wonderful.
not at all.
I
what
didn't even recognize it.
So for people that aren't sure what's going on, Kristen's walnut tree, I don't know how this happens, but
It's 3 feet, more than 3 feet across.
huge, beautiful walnut tree. Someone came, cut it, took it, stole it.
Stole the tree.
And you have been, are we allowed to talk about it or no?
I don't think he listens, and he's about to have he's about to get it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for finally pursuing it. I know you are so forgiving. Sometimes you're so forgiving it pisses
Not
me off.
about this. No.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think someone messes with your trees, your tax deductions, store-bought baked goods. Oh yeah, Kristen, no, the claws come out. But I think you're doing the right thing by pursuing this guy.
I sent in some people undercover to go buy a slab, and it matches up perfectly with the stump.
Yeah.
And I've got a certified arborist coming this weekend to write up his report.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get it.
Well, this will get you started for the next one.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
Well, this is so we've covered cats and trees. Let's get to chickens.
You ready to get the chickens?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and bring Dalia in. I'm not even going to try to attempt. Okay,
You're going to have to like smush together, you guys.
Yeah.
All right,
because
well, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna-
Dalia, are you ready to come in from the green room?
She is.
Dalia Monterroso. I butchered it, didn't I?
Close. Monterroso.
Monterroso.
A lot of people say Montessoro, and some people say Monterrasso. So
Monterroso. Okay, so Dalia, thank you so much for being here. You are the president of Chickenlandia. You've been on the show before, and I'm so happy to have you back. But I have to be honest with you, I don't remember where you're calling from.
I am in Northwest Washington. I'm in Bellingham, Washington State.
Bellingham, Washington State.
We have coops there.
Is it?
And I can hear her through the monitors, by the way.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you. That's non everyone. Making sure we don't get ourselves in trouble, which might happen later in the show. So please stay tuned. So Dalia, thanks for being here. How is it? 88 degrees there today? Like it's going to be here today?
No, I think it's like 30 something outside right now, maybe in the 40s. And it's raining. But it has we had like 2 false springs. And then I was like, okay, it's really here. Spring is really here. And then today is kind of dreary. But, you know, I mean, we're used to it.
Sorry, I'm reading all the
I know, I'm
condolences,
sorry.
and this is the first show. My dad's not here, and it's just I'll get through it. I promise. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people call in and give their condolences
Yeah.
and support.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through because I want to see if people have questions for
yeah.
Dalia.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So you wrote a book. Is this your first book?
It is my first book. It's my first book that actually got published.
Very, very nice. Let's all keep chickens.
Love the picture.
So I was just thumbing through it. I haven't had a chance to read it. I can't wait to read it because one of the things I was saying earlier is there's a lot of chicken keeping books out there, and that's great. And I think there's a lot of great information in the books versus you can read some stuff online. It's like, oh my gosh, what are these people thinking? Already I can tell how this book is going to have, it's very unique, which I like. And you have some wonderful pictures. But Dalia, please tell us about this book.
Well, you know, I've been working on this book for a long time. And, you know, pretty much since I started teaching other people about backyard chickens, which happened over a decade ago, it was when I started teaching. You know, I've been gathering all the information, a lot of the information that went into this book. But 3 years ago, has it been 3 years? Well, whenever the world changed, everything changed. And at that time, I had already started like really working on the bones of this book. My whole philosophy about chicken keeping started to change as well, because I really started to see a need to make chicken keeping something that everybody had access to. Because traditionally, for millennia, for as long as human beings have been keeping chickens, it is something that we have all been able to do, no matter what your income level was. You know, everybody could have chickens. And I feel like in the Western world, we've kind of moved away from that. We've made it a little bit exclusive. We have put some roadblocks in front of people to keep chickens. And I want to return us to that place where it was something that everybody could do. So that really shifted whenever COVID happened, because I saw a need for it. I was like, look, people need to feel like they have some control over their lives. And so that really shifted and changed. And that's a big theme in the book. And
I absolutely love that. I love that so much because I think we can all relate. When you're going into these stores, all of a sudden there's no toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know, there's just one of the things I love about life, if you will, and if you think about this and hear me out, life is a lot like having a computer, and every now and again you gotta reboot it to reset things. And I learned that from 2008. I learned that from the recession, where, you know, we're freaking out and we're blaming everyone for all our problems, this and that. But then what I saw was greatness come out. We got smarter, and we needed a reset, especially here in America. Dalia, you mentioned something that there's been roadblocks put up, and it's become exclusive here in the States to have chickens. So I definitely want to talk a little bit more about what you mean by that. But a lot of times those things do happen, and we take things for granted, and we need to be reminded of those things. And that's what the recession did, and absolutely COVID did. You know, COVID, you know, I never want to go through it again. I thought it was absolutely horrible, but we are going to be better for it. Does that make sense? So you mentioned that you're recognizing that having backyard chickens can be exclusive and that there's roadblocks. Can you touch on that a little bit more?
Well, it's interesting because if you look at the history of chicken keeping in the United States specifically, it has gone through a lot of changes. And I think initially it was just something everybody did because that's what people did. They had chickens in their backyards. And then we had industrialization that happened. And during that time, we moved the chickens out of people, individual homes and put them into factory farms. And the chicken was the first animal to be in a factory farm.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you look at the history of it, it's so interesting to look at how class and mainly class affected how we look at backyard chickens. So at one point it was like, oh, it's really low class, and there's still some of that, some of those ideas out there that they're going to bring property values down. They're low class. This is something that only poor people do. It's dirty. There's rats. Blah 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 blah. And then the funny thing is that, and possibly, I don't know if there's like, I don't really believe in some like grand scheme, but sometimes it's like, wow, it really feels like we're being conspired against to not have chickens in our backyard, because it's like when the popularity started to come back to keep chickens, then it's like there's this idea that you need all of these things, all these bells and whistles in order to have chickens. So it becomes something that only people with a certain income level can have. And I think a lot of the reason why we have that mentality in the Western world is because a lot of the information that we get about keeping chickens comes through that factory farm lens.
Yes. All right. So thank you. I love, I often preach about peeling back the layers. If you want to solve a problem, you got to get to the real root cause. Yeah, he's fun, isn't he? Is he getting your little toes, Ingrid?
No, he's getting my head. My head.
I don't know what you're talking. I'm assuming you're talking about a cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Dalia.
No, that's the intern.
Thank you so much for what you're saying, because I couldn't agree more. If you really want to solve some problems, you got to dig deep. And a lot of times we have a way, especially here in the Western world, to overcomplicate things, and it's really not complicated. And sometimes I feel like we complicate things to hide things. And again, as an exterminator, I saw a lot of what really goes on in these factory farms, and it is absolutely the reason why contributing to us dying, period. And we need to get back to basics. And you've talked about this before, that the concept of, oh, you got chickens, ew, that's nasty. When in fact, when you really learn about it, it's badass.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And
yeah, the stigma.
Absolutely.
Typically from our oldest generation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying, because that's what I'm trying to do here. What we're trying to do here at Carolina Coops. Yes, we got big, beautiful, expensive, luxury custom chicken coops. I get it. And that's where it all started. And I love those. But through all that hard work, we're taking everything that we have learned and making it so you can have a very affordable coop. Oh my gosh. It's like I got a fish on. Really, cat? Come on. I was in a deep moment. I'm telling you, who let this cat in here? He's a monster.
I know.
Okay.
But after all,
He was just
cords.
butter in my arms.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I know he was resting for this.
Oh my gosh. So I love what you're saying. So moving on, I noticed in the very beginning of this book, and again, I didn't have a chance to read it, but I see some pictures of, it was Guatemala, right?
Yes.
Now, is that where your family's from? That's where you're from?
I was born in the United States. My parents immigrated from Guatemala in the 1960s. There was a civil war going on there, and they were very fortunate. They got, they were able to get on a plane and leave. They didn't have to escape or anything like that. But they definitely, it became a situation that was dangerous, and so they had to leave the country that they loved, and they came to the United States. And the other theme of the book is really that when you decide to keep chickens, you really are participating in something that almost all human beings have in their history. And so to me, chickens are this unifying force. And I feel like if we if we really take the time to not just keep chickens, you know, and I usually when people get chickens, it evokes this feeling in them. And I think that has to do with that connection to their ancestry, that connection to nature. No, I totally lost my train of thought.
No,
but
you're doing
what
great.
I'm trying
Yes.
to do is help people to find the meaning in what they're doing. It's not just that we are keeping chickens, but we're reconnecting with something that was taken from us.
Yes.
And I think, and especially during COVID, you know, I did a TEDx talk in 2017 about chickens. It's called I Dream of Chickens. And when I did that talk, it was about bringing people together, bringing humanity through this age-old practice. And I thought at that time in 2017, oh my goodness, there's no way that our society could be more divided than we are now. I had that thought. And then the last 3 years happened.
Yeah.
And we became, you know, I just, there was this real feeling of hopelessness when COVID initially happened because, you know, we're all like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know, is this really bad? Are we all going to die? You know, there's like this fear and these feelings. And then it kind of shifted into anger and, you know, people like families turning against each other and friends that have been friends for 50 years. All of a sudden, they're not friends anymore. And there was that real feeling of hopelessness, I think, that came from that. And what I will say is, go out into the chicken yard, participate in this thing that has been taken from all of us. Like we all have something in our history where we've been separated from nature, where we've been separated from our culture, from our food. You know, recognize that we're all suffering from the same ailment.
Thank you. Yes.
And then maybe we can have some compassion for each other.
Absolutely.
And to kind of find that road back to each other.
Absolutely love that.
Yep. Chickens are that bridge.
Yes, you know, I'm reminded so many times when we're talking to people and when they call us interested in getting the backyard chickens and getting the chicken coop, I'll explain all the benefits of having chickens, and I'll always come to this one line that I use, and that is that they're very therapeutic, and it's almost hard to describe it until you have them and you see them. My favorite is when they're out together, scratching in the yard, scratching in the mulch, scratching in the forest, and there's just something about it that is very peaceful and kind of brings you back to that connection. And I love that Dalia is doing such a good job of just actually explaining it, because I never could. But that makes perfect.
Yeah, it's what she's done is taken, you know, the practical advice, but also make it more philosophical or more spiritual than most people know going into it, but then they do realize it. So I'm glad you brought that component into the book.
Yeah, that must be the cause for chicken math.
So we have Tara wants to tell you, Dalia, that her chickens love her your scratch and peck flock block recipe. So she wanted to let you know that, and a bunch of people were saying that they bought your book or they have your book. So and then I'll also put in the show links a link to the book and to her podcast and her website, Welcome to Chickenlandia. So
yeah, I definitely want to make sure that we mention where can they go find the book. And I'm assuming, and actually might as well just talk about that now, since we are talking about it. Where can people go purchase your book?
Well, it's you know, it's in all the it's on Amazon, obviously. It should be in your local bookstore. Definitely check your local bookstore. It's at Barnes and Nobles. All the major places, and then but if you can get it locally, I think that would be great to support your local bookstore. And if they don't have it, tell them to get it.
there you go.
Can you order it off of your website? Is that
there is a link on my website that links to Story Publishing, where it'll give you all the options of places where you can purchase it.
I didn't know if there was a place that was better for you.
I know I asked her the same thing. I bought the book.
Buy it.
Okay.
Just buy it.
I don't think I've seen a better book for beginners that just keeps it simple.
Yes, exactly. So I want
without scaring people. You know, there's so much information.
I try not to scare people.
Yeah, that sometimes you get scared off, but you know, I think it's presented in a way that makes it exciting.
Yeah, and that's why I love to do this show and have guests on, especially when we agree without even talking to each other, because I want people to realize it's not complicated. And we have this horrible habit of overcomplicating things. And there are so many times, we're talking to our Coop customers and we tell them things and they just don't believe us. There's like, there's no way it can be that simple, like the deep litter system. It's just that simple. And having chickens can be the best hobby because of how simple it is. Chap, was there any more questions or comments?
Well, there are some questions.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring those in.
All right, so somebody, here we go. Michael's asked, what are your feelings on clipping the wings of your chickens? I have a 5-foot fence and I'm preparing to get my flock started. Do you think a 5-foot fence is enough or should I clip their wings?
They will very likely fly over that fence. They might not. It depends on the personality of your flock, on the personality of your individual chickens, and what breeds they are. There's some breeds that are more flighty than others, and then some breeds that all they want to do is just hang out near the ground where the food is, Usually the heavier the breed, the less likely they are to jump the fence. But with a 5-foot fence, I would say it is likely that they will attempt to jump over it. Now, would I say people have strong feelings about, just anything people have strong feelings about, but people do have strong feelings about clipping chickens' wings. What I will say is that it is risk versus risk. Okay. So it might be better for your chickens to clip their wings and to make sure that they don't go over the fence. That might be a better option. But what we do have to remember is that flying is your chickens one of their only ways of getting away from a predator. So if you have like a dog that gets into your chicken yard for some reason and their wings are clipped, the predation is going to be more severe. Okay. So just keep that in mind, but it might be that if they jump over the fence, there's 10 dogs on the other side of the fence. Okay. So keep that in mind. Remember there's aerial predators to think about. So you might consider putting netting over the chicken run. You might decide if they're going to be like free ranging in your whole backyard, you might decide to have a smaller run that your chickens can be in when you're not, able to be out there with them. So there's options, but just always remember that it is unique to your situation and you need to weigh the risks and the benefits.
Right. And sometimes you just have to wait and see till the flock is older if they're going to. I've had a couple that would fly up at first, but then they kind of just didn't do it anime.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think it's nice to have that they don't want to go somewhere else, like grass is greener. Have
but
plenty of.
Chickenlandia is pretty nice. And I had these itty bitty chickens. I had one but this was before I had netting over my chicken yard. She went and lived in the woods for 6 weeks. Oh. She was she weighed a few ounces. She was a little Old English game bantam.
I had the same thing happen to me.
6 weeks to catch her.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just on the fence thing, I've noticed that if you have a flat top fence, if you have a fence with a flat board, that almost invites the chickens to land on top of it. Yeah. Yeah. Whereas if it's a picket fence or a flimsy wire fence, they don't want to land on top of that. And they don't have great sustained flight. Like they're not going to take off and fly long distances in the air, typically, unless they're banties. But so anyhow, that seems to play a role in that as well. In my experience,
I love it. Risk versus risk.
Yeah,
that's just a great way of putting it. And that's exactly it. And that reminds me, again, when we get those same exact questions, there's pros and cons to everything. And the best thing is just don't overcomplicate it to understand, so you know how to make the best decision. I love it. Risk versus risk. Ingrid, you're about to bring in another.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm sneezy, but okay.
This is a cat.
I can't not pick up a cat. Anyway, question. Can you put a 1-day-old regular-sized chicks in the same brooder with 1-day-old bantam chicks?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, yes, they
Love it.
at that age, and in fact, it's perfect to do that because they will grow up together and they will not notice the size difference. Um, just keep an eye on the little bantams, make sure that they're not getting stepped on or picked on at all. But it's not likely that that will happen. The main consideration is you don't want, like, since bantams are so much smaller, they have more of a risk of getting into their waterer and getting chilled. Like, for some reason, I think because there's not the presence of a mother hen to keep them from doing foolish stuff, like sometimes baby chicks will actually immerse themselves in the waterers. So get some marbles or some clean rocks, some pebbles, and put them in the waterer so that the chicks can get a sip out of them, but they can't get into the water enough to get chilled. Okay.
That's a great pro tip.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Ingrid is over there dying. It looks like you're about to bring in Mike's question.
Yes.
Mike Trap.
Mike, the birthday boy, asked if your book is available via Kindle.
Is the book available?
Yeah,
Kindle?
It is.
Okay. So
It
yes, Mike,
absolutely is.
you can Kindle Let's All Keep Chickens. And I just wanted to bring in this
I love that. This one.
I wanted to bring this in because it's so great. Sparky Prep says, my wife, who didn't want chickens, now calls them her chickens. She holds them, she pets them, and goes buy them fresh groceries just for the chickens.
Yep. The reluctant spouse comes around.
We see it all the time. We see it all the time. There have been times we've gone and done a site survey, and it's usually the husband doesn't even want to acknowledge I'm there, won't shake my hand, madder than
It
hell.
could go either way.
I understand. Okay. But you get what I'm saying. And then we'll do the coop and we'll come back, do a follow-up maybe a couple months later, and the husband is just obsessed with the chickens, and he's breeding soldier fly larvae. And
Set out a chair.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
My poor husband, I call him the first man. Since I'm the president, I call him the first man.
Oh, yeah.
He's allergic to the chickens.
Oh.
I didn't know any.
That's what he says.
Oh, that's what he says. Okay.
I mean, I've heard of people having.
He is allergic to them.
Really? I never heard of that. I've heard of egg allergies, but actually allergic to the chickens.
Yeah, it may be the dust that they generate that is more of an issue, because he does have animal allergies. But really the dust is, for people with asthma and allergies, they have to be really mindful about that. That's definitely consideration.
All right, so going back to the book, and guys, if you're just joining us, we are live March 24th, 2023. We're speaking with Dalia, the president of Chickenlandia, and now the author of Let's All Keep Chickens, a beautiful, gorgeous book. Lots of great information in there. She is with us right now. And again, thank you so much for your time. I know you must be a very busy person, but I love that you're willing to come out, speak with our viewers, and promote how wonderful this hobby is. And I love the way you are expressing your philosophical ways of why we need to get back to having backyard chickens. You're welcome. Thank you. On page 94, one of my favorite subjects, the deep litter method in a nutshell. I love this. We might have to, I don't know, is it copyright infringement if we take a photocopy of this and we hang it up, as long as we give her credit out in the...
yeah, and we could even link something like this on our website back to her book or her website.
So,
of course.
We talk about the deep litter system all the time. We love the deep litter system. Can you quickly tell us the deep litter method in a nutshell?
Well, basically what you're doing is you're creating a composting system just right there in the chicken coop. So it's amazing because, chicken poop, if it's allowed to just fester and collect, and your chickens are in it and, they're overcrowded and whatnot, it can be dangerous. But it's amazing that with a very simple process, it can actually be turned into something with a lot of benefits for them, like this beneficial fertilizer and soil, basically, that has all these good microbes and everything in it. So I think that's incredible. I love the idea that we can do that. I'd be interested. I really tried to find the history of the deep litter method. What I found was, I think it was like in the 1940s, there was a farmer that discovered that you could do this method, but I feel like it must have some more ancient origins than that.
I don't know. You've talked about this all the time. I remember when you first told me about the deep litter method. I think I asked you. I said, "Where the hell did this begin?" And I remember you telling me it was in the 40s.
I read that when during the war, when the men went to war, the women didn't clean out the chicken coops anymore because they were left behind with a lot to do. So they just threw fresh over old, and then they figured out that, or that farmer figured out, hey, this is better. This is better for us. This is better for the chickens.
Yeah, and you would think that someone would have discovered this.
Yeah, I'm with her. I think someone was doing it well before that.
Yeah, I feel like it must have some kind of indigenous history or something. But anyway, basically, like you clean your, let's say it's the spring, you do your deep cleaning of your coop. You're going to put a few inches of shavings down, or hemp bedding, or whatever you're using. Not sand. You can't do this with sand.
You sure? Oh boy, there's so many people now going, what? They love sand, and no matter what you tell them, you cannot break their habit of
I've
sand.
broken some
people. You know what? If someone likes sand, go. I just say go for it. Okay. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and it is very wet here, and I have found that sand really creates a problem in not only just in my coop, but I try to use it just like in the outside of the coop to kind of make the drainage a little bit better, and it really just stunk. And it's such a more permanent substance that I think there isn't as much of room for error in it, whereas if you do deep litter method and it's not working or whatever, you can just clean out your coop.
Right.
But if you've got sand, that's a much bigger process.
Yeah,
now,
I see sand.
There's people,
I
mean, if you live in Florida, or if you live in somewhere where chickens are naturally on sand and it's drier, let's say you're in Tucson, Arizona, and you like that process of cleaning out, going in there with like your litter box scooper and cleaning out the poop, and you don't mind that, then go for it if it's working for you. But, I'm not a like my way or the highway person. There's the Chickenlandia way, but it's not the only way. And that's what I will always say. Like, do what works for you, but let me give you the information that I have so that you can make an educated choice that you can feel good with.
Absolutely. Yeah. I always see sand as it just creates such a sterile environment.
Yeah, the microbes aren't going to break down the droppings in sand. And we're not raising seagulls.
Right. And like, I think I heard
chicken of the sea. Is that, I think that's something else. So yeah, I do enjoy deep litter method. One thing that I have realized is that if you're having an issue with it, if you're having ammonia develop or whatever, start over and make sure that it is well turned. Because I think that can become a problem. There's some chickens that don't turn it that well.
Yeah, I often tell people, make sure you have the right size diaper for the right size baby. There's the old 30 parts, 1 part nitrogen to 30 parts carbon. I don't know who goes out there and actually counts it, but what we have learned is if you don't overthink it, just add a layer of carbon and you'll see the smell go away instantly. We're not making this up. And we did this one time live on the air, and it's like it just went away immediately, and you just let the microbes do their job. Dalia, I have to ask you, because this has been a hot topic for maybe 6 months now. I don't really do a good job keeping track of time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, because I want to hear what she has to say.
Okay.
What? Well, hold on. Where's my hat? Oh, no. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've gotten a lot of questions. People all of a sudden are like, oh, my gosh, there's something in the chicken feed. What's going on here? All of a sudden they stop laying eggs. I imagine you've gotten that question a lot, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
My thought is,
this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
My thought is that people have been through a lot in the last 3 years. Their trust in many institutions has been broken. A lot of them feel attacked. They feel like they're not being listened to. And I understand that. You know, I mean, I always tell people, my parents come from a country where it was just completely torn apart by corporate interest. And that's why I'm here in front of you today, because of a literal war that started because of corporate interest. So I'm familiar with corruption. Now, all that being said, one thing I do know about powerful corporations is that the bottom line is that they're always going to think about the bottom line. And they're not going to do anything that will affect that. And I couldn't for the life of me figure out why they would do something so overtly that would put them at such risk and under such scrutiny. You know, for whatever reason, you know, if they were really trying to affect the food supply in this way, I found it hard that this would be how they would go about it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it didn't.
It's just not logical.
Yeah, the logic falls apart when you break it down. That a company that sells chicken feed is trying to sabotage their business,
their customer base.
Yeah,
that was hard for me. Now that being said, you know, if people are saying, I'm observing this, this is what I think. What I didn't want to do, and I did a whole podcast about this. What I didn't want to do is ridicule those people or just say, well, you just must be an idiot because you believe in this way. When I understand that people have lost trust.
Right.
And I understand that loss of trust. So really what I wanted to do is come from a place of compassion, of understanding, of just like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's not just completely dehumanize the other side. And if you have a feeling of just like, look, I really don't believe this is true, then you need to talk about it. And there were other educators that were kind of like blocking people that didn't agree with them. And it's just like, how are we supposed to if you really believe in what you're saying, then we need to talk. We have to have a conversation about it.
Thank you. I have said that so many times, and it's that one thing that is without a doubt in my mind causing us so many problems, and it scares me. We are screwed as a society if we start this mentality that we can't even talk to each other, no matter what your opinion is. And I love what she said. If you believe so strongly about it, you are more than happy to have that conversation. And so many people now, no matter what it is that they feel, they just don't even want to waste their time. They just don't even want to talk about it. And it's that one thing that scares the crap out of me. And then you throw in today's technology with social media, where we are now sometimes thinking we are talking to each other, and we're not at all.
Very impersonal.
We're talking to a robot. Yeah, we're arguing. Yeah. You know, you're arguing for 3 hours on Twitter with a bot.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you, Dalia is one of those people that I would love to have as a life coach. You are just such an amazing person. Yesterday we did a show on her podcast, which I think will be linked up with everything about Dalia here, and we talked a lot about she asked me about the coop we did out in California. And it was right along those same lines. It's just, you know what? Have some compassion, have some love, and you wouldn't believe that a lot of these people never have had that.
Yeah.
And that sometimes is all it takes for them to trust you, because they are lacking trust. And again, in a way, I don't blame them at all. And it's hard to break down that barrier. But the thing that I realize here, and the Sheriff Kendall said it, and I couldn't appreciate it more. Here, I'm a business owner, and it was costing the company money for me to be out there, but I wanted to be there. And they realized that I was there because I wanted to be, to work with them, because I believed in what we were doing. And that just helped break down that barrier. You know, and through chickens, it can be done. It's absolutely amazing.
And my audience is all over the political spectrum. Yeah,
chickens yeah. Chicken keeping is absolutely.
Yeah, and I find myself walking a bit of a tightrope sometimes, and especially during that time when the whole feed controversy was happening, I was really walking a very tightrope. but I'm willing to do that to not alienate people and to help people to have conversations so that they can come to their own educated conclusions.
Yes.
Right. And one positive from all that is my local feed store started to carry local North Carolina feed, which I started buying, and I'm like, this stuff is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would just tell people, look, if you're very concerned, try and see if you can, support a local feed company. Mm-hmm. And then you're winning. Like, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, buy local.
All right, so we're at 12:45, guys. We are live March 24th, 2023. We are speaking to Dalia from Chickenlandia. We are talking about her new book, Let's All Keep Chickens, which is available out there. Dalia, do we have time for some more questions?
Sure.
Absolutely. All right, Ingrid.
Okay. So Pearl says, getting my very first flock soon. I listened to you guys and got a few different varieties. Should I break down the starter crumble to smaller pieces for the bantam chicks?
No, I don't think so. I think they'll be absolutely fine. I mean, even like I have tiny chickens, like
Yes.
really itty bitty ones. And they will be fine with the regular size crumble. Like my itty bitty old English games, who are like smaller than Saramas, I got them because someone didn't want them because they're too small for their breed. They eat pellets. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the same as them. I mean, the pellets are like big, like it's the same pellets that like my big chickens eat. So I've never had a problem with trying to make the feed smaller, and I think that would be a lot of extra work for you. And I don't.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I've never had that question before, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's
there's
way
variation
more work.
in the crumble, really, right? I mean, it's not all the exact same.
Right.
The crumble is like some
they're
of it's
gonna go
powdery,
through
some of
it,
it's smaller.
And they will also, like, if you sit and watch which I definitely suggest you sit and watch your baby chicks, because it's funny. They come out like as soon as they're fluffed up, they're like already chickening, they're like pecking and scratching and stuff. They will peck if there's a bit of feed that is too big for them, they'll peck at it until it crumbles. Yeah. And then they'll eat it.
I see a lot of questions and comments. Yeah. I definitely want to share. I hope you guys are all seeing it, because we're not paying our listeners, our viewers, our customers to say this. I see people are like, my deep litter, it's 30 months old and it's still not ready to be cleaned out.
Yeah,
and then,
somebody had asked how long do you go, and that really depends.
Well, yes, and I love that. I mean, think about that, and that's just, I want everyone to realize.
Think about it. I live it.
Yeah, we know. I noticed you haven't done your poop necklace in a while, but I want to make sure people understand keeping chickens is not hard. It's actually one of the easiest things you can do if you have the right setup.
So let's see. Darshell asked that she had a Chico broody, but anyway, so she gave them baby chicks, and she said they are doing great, and the mom is doing an amazing job, and she has taken them outside the coop at 5 days old already. And they scratch on the ground, and I see them eating that. Is that okay? Also, they're out with 9 hens that don't bother them, and they're all afraid of mama. It's kind of funny.
I love it.
See?
Mamas are fierce.
Yeah.
But, generally, this is a generalization, but generally, baby chicks that are raised by a mother hen are going to be more resilient and more healthy than baby chicks raised in a brooder environment. Now, when I say that, I'm not discouraging you from raising baby chicks in a brooder. I've done it many, many times. I love it. It's great. Okay. But there is something about that natural experience and getting that early exposure that is really good for the babies. And then they have that added experience of being with their mama. Okay. So what she is doing is something that chickens have been doing since they lived in the jungles in Malaysia. Okay. So don't even worry about it. That is the best thing that they can do right now. And she knows what she's doing, especially she's protecting those baby chicks really well.
Right. So Francine asked, do you use, or do you like or use Saturday lime? What are your thoughts?
You know what? I have not used it. I have heard so many good things about it. I've never used it. but I've heard really good things about it.
Same.
I actually have some, and I put it around the coop, the perimeter of the coop, and I also had just cleaned out my nest boxes and gave them all fresh nesting pads and stuff in there, and I put a little bit underneath there just in case there was any kind of mite action. I know it's safe, so I feel better about putting there. Whether it's needed or does anything, I don't know, but I feel that it's safe, so I did use it.
Please, please, please bring in Marie's comment.
Okay.
Thank you, because I know if I did. So I want to be clear. We are not saying one or the other.
Let's read her comment.
Oh, okay, yeah. Marie says, thank you. Disagree with y'all on that. And she, referring to about the food supply. And she went on and said, they are absolutely going after the food supply. We are not saying they are or are not. I want to be clear. What I love to talk about is why we have gotten to the point where it's like you're not even allowed to talk about it. And that's the real problem here. And I've always wanted to have, because I've talked to some people that have some very convincing arguments on both sides. And I was like, I would love to come together, because that's what this show should be about, is having those conversations and listen to each other. But I want to be clear here at Carolina Coops, we are not saying one or the other. What I am saying is I would love to know. I would love to learn. I would love to talk to the experts. And that's what we need to do. If we continue to not talk to each other, we are screwed, period. And I will say, I feel they want that. That's just my opinion. I know some people are going to disagree with me. They love the wedge. They don't want us talking to each other. They need to fear us. They don't fear us anymore. When we start to fear them, we are screwed. And what they're geniuses is what they're doing right now. We have got to get back, no matter what you think, to at least sitting down and have an open mind, have an open heart. Don't think you know everything, because there's much bigger problems going on that we are unaware of, and we've got to get back to talk to each other. So again,
Matt's fired up.
Well, I want to be clear, because it's like so many times.
Your tinfoil is showing, sir.
Anyways,
my tinfoil is so thin that it's like it's translucent.
Yeah. So that's all. All right. So we are. It's 12.
Can I say something about that too?
Please,
can I say something
absolutely.
really quick? My answer to that is that I can't make a definitive statement on it, because I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to come out and say, yes, this is happening, because I think that's disingenuous, because, I think that would be disingenuous of me. Let me put it that way, to say this is exactly what's happening, or this is exactly not what's happening, because I don't know. What I do know is that we have a problem with the food supply. We do have a problem. It is dangerous how we have our food supply set up. It makes us vulnerable.
Yes.
So the more people that can have chickens, the better. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely agree with Matt. Like, my dad used to tell me, he came from a country that was torn apart by civil war. He said they will always try to, it's divide and conquer.
Yes.
They will try to divide you. And as long as we're looking at each other as the enemy, we're not really seeing where the actual problems are coming from.
The true enemy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it is 12:53.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any more questions. I know there's a bunch coming in. I want to definitely be able to answer all those.
Some of them are for you, and some of them
Okay, so, and I just want to let everyone know, we are going to make a phone call here very, very soon. I talked about it in the beginning of the show. I didn't want to reveal what it is, and you're going to understand why, and we're just going to get right into that phone call. I hope they answer, and I promise you, if they answer, this is going to be fun.
It'll be entertaining.
Yes. I don't think they're going to answer, but if they do, that'd be great. So, Dalia, thank you so much. You are a wonderful person. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for this wonderful hobby.
This is the best book.
Yes. And thank you for just being a friend of ours. And I hope we get to talk again soon.
The feeling is mutual. I love being on here and having these discussions. And anytime, I'm here.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yes, and we have to get Dalia one of our coops out there. So when you go out to the,
I know we are going to do that. We're going to do a video together.
Yeah.
Yes, that is
I
on my
think
bucket
Dalia
list.
needs a coop.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thank you,
Dalia.
Dalia.
That was fun.
Yes. She really did do a good job on that book.
Yeah.
Did.
it was amazing, and I can't wait to go through it. And I'm not a big reader, but this is something I could tell right away. I love how simple she's keeping it, and I love how, I think you said it right, it's very philosophical, but it's real simple when you think about it. And these are more reasons why I want people to understand and learn if they are on the fence thinking about getting chickens.
Wait, before you start, I wanted to get to this comment because I didn't
Okay.
want it to get lost, and it was for you.
Oh.
So it's from Frank. He said, sorry to hear about your dad. He was a good man and a good boss. I worked for him at Flightline for a few years. I still remember the many lessons he taught me and think about him whenever I paint anything. My condolences. So I wanted to give that
Thank
to
you,
you
Frank.
and to Jerry.
Yeah, I remember Frankie and his father, Fran.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to.
I've heard of stories of Flightline.
I didn't want to
He
upset you. I
made-
just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that comment got out there.
Jerry
'cause I thought it was important.
made a difference at Flightline, that's for sure. Didn't he?
He made a difference in everyone's life.
Yeah, he did.
He was that man that everyone loved.
Yeah.
And there's so many stories that are just mind blowing, all the way up to it on when he passed away. Even when the funeral home came, they're telling me things about him that I had no idea. When they're looking at his medals, they're like, "Man, did you know his air medals? They're rare." And I'm just like, I had no idea. It's just
He didn't talk about his service very much.
and I don't
until
blame
later.
him.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, I don't blame him.
He served in Vietnam.
But he was that man that just everyone loved. And
And you're taking after him quite well.
well, I try. Thank you. I mean, if I could just do,
You are honoring him.
if I could do 10% of what that man did, I would be thankful. It's just,
You're well on your way.
anyways. All right. So, all right. Yes.
All right. We have here's a little transition for you.
Thank you.
I saw a video about building chicken tunnels for the chickens to run around in. It was built around a garden, and the chickens seemed to love it while being protected from predators. Pros and cons?
Yeah, chicken tunnels, or what we call chunnels. I
Yes.
love them. We've never done them, but I think if they're done right, they're great.
Yeah, I do too.
Sometimes I think they're a little too restrictive. I think they're great to direct them to another wider opening. But if all they have is a narrow tunnel, and I think there could be a better way, but if that's all you can do, then that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's good to go around a garden bed or something.
Yeah.
But like you said, so they still have other things, but it to kind of circumvent things you don't want them to get in and keep them protected. I agree with you with not the only way of them getting out and about.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, let's make this phone call. I've been
Okay.
waiting all week. Guys, we are live March 24th, 2023. We're about to make a phone call. I'm not going to say what because there's a very good chance that they're probably watching right now and it's going to not work. But I hope they're not because
They're not watching.
These type of people are lazy. And we're just going to go ahead and get into it, and I hope they answer. So should I use my phone or can we use yours? Because I don't
use
want...
mine.
Yeah, let's use yours. Let's go ahead. If you could call that number, put it on speaker. Whew, I think I'm ready now. I've been... This show's becoming an
Okay.
emotional roller coaster. All right, so we're going to be calling a Clarksville, Tennessee number,
Yeah, I
supposedly.
put that in there. Yeah.
Speaker?
Complete your call. Please try again.
Oh, the number doesn't even work.
You sure you did it right?
Try it again.
2211 at the end. Did I do it wrong? Because sometimes I get a little dyslexic with things like that.
My heart is pounding so hard right now. What is... I don't know these... What is wrong with just getting an iPhone?
Please try again.
Can we double check the number?
I'm just checking now.
Yeah.
All right, so, well, I guess...
931. Is this it? You got that? 931. I don't care. It's on a Facebook page. I can-
Yeah, these people are just outright. So here's what I was getting at, folks. And if you want to share this screen, I don't know if you want to share it. I mean,
I don't.
That is ridiculous. They even took that picture?
That's what I'm saying. They took pictures of Jenny Mars.
Can
And Dave.
can we post on that and tell them that so everyone reads it that these are outright?
I did. See, this is a scam page. Please don't. I mean, the comments are everywhere. And the funny thing about this scam page is that they say to everyone from now onwards, which is not even English, we will be deleting comments immediately that have been answered as to prevent scammers from messaging you. Like they're actually. So
Very smooth scammers.
yeah. So listen, what I want to say to the audience and to everybody, if you see something on social media that looks like us and we're selling something, we will always sell it through our website and our 919 number. You can call us. You can go to carolinacoops.com. You will see it. These people don't have a website. They're just using our name. They're using our logo. They're using our photos.
They're using our everything. They're stealing our pictures. They're literally stealing our actual post.
It was not Evan's birthday a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they took my birthday post to Evan. They actually messaged that to me. Because I had contacted them about cease and desist, and they messaged me, it's Evan's birthday, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right, and we have had people call us.
Everyone likes an extra birthday, but
yeah,
they have actually
that's not cool.
They have actually called. We've had customers call us upset. They're like, "Well, I didn't get my plans, or this and that. You guys are scamming." I'm like, "No."
Or the hemp. They were selling the Owa hemp that we don't sell anymore.
It's not us. This is a tough battle. I did have a talk with a lawyer, and this is one that's not worth paying a lawyer for because they're online. They're not selling chick coops, but they're just scamming you, stealing your money, and it's so. It has never been more blatant of just outright copying us just by adding one word. And I just want to make everyone aware of it because it's not us. We are doing everything we can. We're just at the mercy of, unfortunately, the Facebook police, whoever they are.
Yeah, and they're not
Meta.
real. They don't make it very easy to report these people. I've reported them, and our lawyer has reported them, and they don't make it easy. But I mean, they are copyright infringement. All we could say is that if you do see a page like this, the best thing you could do to help us is to just take the 3 dots and report it, whether it's on Instagram, anywhere you see things that you know is not our page, because we're just Carolina Coops.
Absolutely. So what I was trying to do is they had a phone number. I was going to call them right now and be like, "Yo, I need a chicken coop. I've been watching.
Doesn't even work.
I've been watching all your videos. Can I talk to Matt?" And I was really hoping. And I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
We could do try a Facebook call. I'll just try it. I mean, I don't.
No, please, Ingrid.
What?
Do it. Bring it up. Go back to where you were.
I know, but I have to do screen share.
Well, I have to do.
Well, hold on.
I have to do it on my phone to call it through my phone.
Hold on. Can we call them?
What is it called? It's called Carolina Coops Review.
Carolina Chicken Coops is this one.
That is the scam, guys.
Yes.
Yes. Unbelievable. Can we call them?
Yeah,
call them on here.
Well, I'm going to use mine.
Yeah, let her do it because I got blocked from this.
Oh, they're going to be like, why is Carolina Coops calling Carolina?
Yeah, and I also personally got blocked when I started saying stuff to them and told them to stop. They just blocked me.
Wait. What is? Can you put the new
password? You ready for this one?
You're gonna love it. I heard you say it.
Yep.
How do you use this phone?
No, stop.
It was simply a question. Am I not?
Stop Android bashing.
I'm not Android bashing. It was asking a simple question.
So, is it going through?
Let's see. How can I call?
By the way, Eric wanted to know when they can eat the stuff in the kitchen.
Oh, we have a customer, right, that sent us a huge box of stuff that we wanted to get to.
We have a customer who made us homemade cookies.
I'm all over
and bacon caramel popcorn. What? It is Lisa Martineau.
So thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
So I haven't
Lisa.
tried this.
There isn't really a.
There's no way to call them or video chat them.
It says veteran owned.
Of course, they
always open.
Mm-hmm. So they're basically they make these scam pages, take our photos, and I'm not going to go back and watermark every photo that we have, and that still wouldn't even help because they're pretending they're us. So
yeah, okay, all right. Well, enough of that. I really thought we were going to get someone stupid enough to answer the call, and I thought it'd be hilarious to pretend to talk to me.
I know.
And then, yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to give up on it, though. Let's figure out. Mackenzie is the one that's been trying to really bait them in. All right. Question. How do you feel about having 2 coops? One for players and one for broodies. And having the broodies raise fertile eggs to keep stock going. Players? You mean the roosters?
I don't know. Or maybe just ones that don't go broody that just like to.
Maybe they're just fat fingering the layers.
Oh, thank you, Nan.
There's Nan. So that's funny. We are actually about to close a deal doing exactly that, where there are 5 Carolina coops that are going to be 16 by 24, huge coops, and it's going to be 2 8x together. There's going to be a lot coming out about it. It's going to be amazing. And then the other one is just for broilers, meat birds. So I think it's a great idea to separate them if you can. Just the coop can be used in many different ways. Getting chicks August 1. Live in Green Bay, Packer country. I'm sorry. Go Bears. When will I be able to get them to the hen house, and will I need a warmer in there? So I'm actually so glad you just asked this question, because this morning we just did this exact video. I have 24, how old are those chicks? 5 weeks, 6 weeks now?
Yeah, at least.
Okay, so let's just say 6 weeks. Out in the hen house, and I put them out there a couple weeks ago. And I love to use the hen house as the brooder. And if you have a situation where you feel it's not a huge risk, like if you lose power and it really gets cold, the chickens are done, which might be the case up there. Down here in the Carolinas, it was getting maybe down to 40s at night, but I put them out there at about maybe 4 weeks old, and I just used the hen house as the brooder, and they're doing fantastic. I'm actually about to move the heat source and let them down into the run. But again, to answer your question, typically the go-to answer is 6 weeks or whenever they have all their adult feathers, but just be mindful of, the cold temperatures aren't so much what's going to kill the chickens, but you got to be careful if they're not able to keep themselves warm. Make sure they have a heat source. I'd rather have a heat source there just to play it safe. But once they have their adult feathers, they're good to go. Just block the wind chill. Oh, you're going right for it?
Yeah, I want that lemon, that iced one. I've had my eyes on those cookies since I got in this morning.
Okay, so God, what a I was actually planning for this all week.
I know.
I didn't even want to know the name.
I should have tried to call to see. I should have vetted that out.
We should do a post on scammers and see if they repost our scamming post.
What do you mean a post on scammers?
They steal our social media posts.
Right.
Evan's birthday, Matt's doing a chick coop somewhere. We should do a post on these people scamming us and see if they post.
I got you now.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Drink. I guess everyone is. Are we having a drinking game? It is March 24th, 2023. It is March 24th, 2023. It is March 24th, 2023. Yeah, we should do that.
Don't get everyone drunk. It's only.
Oh, it is Friday. It is Friday. All right. What questions we got left here?
Does your 1/2-inch high density polyethylene lay on the plywood, or does it sit directly on the 2x4s?
Directly on the 2x4s.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't layer.
We don't like layers.
Eliminate layers.
Because that starts with the mites and stuff.
Right. And that's what I mean. Again, and this has come up recently too. I want to be crystal clear. And this is why we do the show. This is our time to take out of our busy week and help people to construct and design their own coops. I want to be clear. I'm not asking people to call up and ask for our recipe and ask for, if you wanted to build a Tesla, you're going to call up for are you trying to shut me up right now?
No, that's an oatmeal raisin.
Beautiful.
I know you like those.
They're my favorite. But listen to what we say, like the interview we just had with Dalia. Listen to the pros and cons, and then you can use that information to help design your coop. So when you're designing a chicken coop, building a chicken coop, one of the things you definitely want to do is try to eliminate layers. Don't have more layers than you need to. So to that question, that is why the 1/2-inch sits right on top of the 2x4. It's like it's floating. There's no layers. All right. Well, boys, Ingrid's gone. Ingrid just stepped away. We can say anything we want now, right?
I think you do anyhow.
No. Oh, God, no. Oh, you kidding me? Oh, she definitely keeps me out of trouble. All right, so these are coming in from a customer. Now, does this person bake for a living? Or
they had a catering business, a barbecue catering business, which they only do sometimes now. It's part-time
annoying?
now.
This is good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very good. And they sent us a card. So Steve and Lisa Martineau. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Steve, yeah. I almost joked. Steve and Lisa, thank you so much. Oh, Ingrid's coming in. Coming in for something.
A cookie? I broke it in half.
And I feel so useless over here. I don't have a mouse. So let's get through the rest of the questions. It's March 24th, 2023. Have a drink.
I'm sorry, I had to leave. And the last time I left a live show, I missed you getting pooped on by a chicken. So I don't know what I missed this time.
Oh, I also wanted to mention, if you guys haven't, I mean, hopefully everyone here is definitely a subscriber and has make sure they clicked on notifications all for Carolina Coops. Finally getting some long format videos back out there. And
they're writing back.
What?
They're writing back. I said, can I call? I want to make a large purchase, and I feel more comfortable making my payment over the phone.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, they're typing.
I have a credit card with a $100,000 limit.
Hello, Kristen. We appreciate you reaching out and messaging us. You are welcome, and thanks for choosing us. We sincerely apologize for late response. I want to make a large purchase. What are you after?
What do they sell?
No, hold on. Ask them. Can I please call? I prefer to call. Ooh, this is getting good, folks. They're probably watching right now.
I don't think so.
This is unbelievable. I don't know if we do get them on the phone. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to hold out. Can I call in my order? See, brilliant. What a great way of putting it. Because I would have been like, can I call?
These cookies are really good, by the way.
What are you after?
Just say Craftsman Coop or something.
Okay.
Or like the one that's in your profile.
I really love the Coop.
I would like the
big Coop. That was on Pixar to Fabulous. That they use this there.
All right, so folks, if you're just joining us, you know what's going on. We are, well, I guess everyone knows now what we're trying to do here because they didn't answer. What are you doing? All right. What are you after? This almost looks like AI. These questions or the responses.
Could be.
I mean, and be like, I'm a huge fan. I would really love to talk to Matt.
I don't think that it's well, it could be the person. I don't know that it's the actual person that started this scam that's answering the questions, but it could be.
Wait, there's layers to scamming now?
Oh, yeah, they've got like call centers that do all this stuff. Oh, my gosh. I mean,
all right, well, while we're doing this, I appreciate it. Let's get back to our listeners, our viewers, answer any questions they have. I love how much they talk to each other.
Mm-hmm. What's the best to use on the ground of the run? Is grass okay or something else?
It's okay to start with grass, mimic the forest floor.
Yeah, the grass just won't last very long.
No, it won't last.
Do we have our official recipe for the substrate?
I don't want to give out a recipe.
Yeah, I don't think
too limiting.
I think you're complicating it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm simplifying it. People just want to know what to put in the run.
Then people will think that they need to use exactly what you say and the percentages that you're.
And they'll be like, "Well, I don't have pebbles in there," and they don't always need pebbles.
Yeah, they need tiny granite of no bigger than a 1/4 inch.
Right.
And you got to screen it so you don't. No.
Yeah. See, you're gonna. So John had said earlier, and I wanted to get to this. John Canfield, our friend who makes the wonderful dowels, he had mentioned that one of his chickens, his Americana, had died, and it was not very old. And I recently lost a 9-month-old chicken, and sometimes they die. I actually just got the report back from Dr. Crespo on what happened, and even though she had basically liver damage, lymphoma, or whatever. They think it's consistent with Merrick's, even though she came from a hatchery. I guess she could still get it. But sometimes, I remember when I first got my chickens, the guy at Urban Chicken said to me, sometimes chickens just die. And even though I can't accept it, and I cry and I get so upset, but sometimes they do. And it's just, we don't always know what's wrong. And as long as the rest of the flock is healthy, if you can get a necropsy, that's great. If you can't, as long as the rest of the flock is healthy, then it's unfortunate that sometimes it just happens. And sometimes it's a young chicken. Sometimes they have almost like a ovarian cancer at like 3 or 4 years old because they just lay so much. The layers tend to get that kind of, they call it reproductive disease. So there's just a bunch of different things that can happen. So a lot of times, and sometimes I've heard that they just have heart attacks at night and stuff. You just find them dead in the morning. Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, even though they're vaccinated, they could have gotten Merrick's, until they're old enough to build up an immunity to it. And sometimes we just don't know. And as long as the rest of your flock is okay, John, I wouldn't worry about it. And I'm sorry that you lost a chicken because I know it stinks.
Well, okay. Well, we got a lot going on over here.
No, really.
I don't want to be
I was just vamping too because
So I'm surprised you just did that.
What?
So they're busy constructing a chicken coop right now. We'll get back to you later. Can we get your contact info? That's what they want.
Right.
They want your info.
Oh, I should have given them my Google Voice number.
Jeez. Hold on. Hit them back. Be like, I really, really want to talk
Maybe
to
I can
someone.
delete that.
All right, ready? No. It's what damage is done. Is Matt available? I am a huge fan. Would really love to talk to Matt.
And Matt doesn't build chicken coops anymore.
Well, yeah. He doesn't. Only on special occasions.
He must be available.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back to the questions.
Yes, I mean, I'm
we
trying
don't want
to,
dead air. I really appreciate
yeah.
you guys being here. Sorry, Meta doesn't have a problem censoring you for nothing. Can't stand how they operate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are not kidding. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
is cypress mulch okay for my chicken run?
Cypress mulch. So I love cypress. Cypress was one of my favorite logs to saw. It is beautiful. It reminds me a lot of how aluminum is in the metal world. It's lightweight but strong, has a natural rot resistance. Ingrid is coming in for some more sweets. I don't see why not. Pretty much any mulch in the run area will do a good job. You just do want to be mindful of your high acidic type woods. And I don't know if cypress, I can't remember if cypress is high acidic. I would have to guess that it might be. But the ideal mulch is coming from a hardwood tree.
So, like, what about cedar mulch? Because you always say, like, cedar you don't want.
I definitely would avoid cedar.
I would, too.
Western or eastern.
It can be mixed in with a chip drop thing, but if it's primarily cedar, I would stay with it.
Yeah, and the chickens are... Oh, I thought that was you. I thought they were calling you.
I had to change my number.
Okay, moving. I hate that I don't have a mouse over here. It's 1:16. We are live. Have a drink. March 24th, 2023. I wonder if people are really doing this. Let us know. Are you really in the comment section having a drink every time I say it?
All right. Well,
go Bears. Go Bears.
How long should I wait to use the bedding in my garden as a fertilizer?
Yeah, this is a question we get all the time.
Yeah,
and
Ingrid, what do you think?
I think it depends on the time of year, but I mean, I would say a month or two.
What are we looking for to know when it's safe?
Well, I guess it depends. It depends. If you're just putting it around your, like, big trees or something, it's probably fine. Because it's not pure chicken poop. It's chicken poop with carbon. It's got hemp and stuff in it, and it's broken down.
Yeah, and it would be no different than chickens pooping on your yard.
Right.
Free ranging.
Right. So I don't think it needs like months and months of curing, as they say, because I think it's already cured as it's in there. Maybe you might not want to put that top layer. That might be super poopy, right, directly on like seedlings. But for the most part, it's, again, don't overthink it.
Right. Okay. So it's March 24th, 2023. Have a drink. We're getting ready to garden, at least people down here in the South, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say people are like, man, should I clean out my chicken coop right now? Okay, I'm going to clean it out. Can I dump it right onto my garden where I'm going to be seeding or growing seedlings? Or do we wait and put it into another compost where it is introduced into oxygen so it can go down the final stages of breaking down?
I mean, you do want to be careful with seedlings because anything that's too high in nitrogen, you don't want to burn the plants, the roots. If it's too high in nitrogen, sometimes that causes more leaf growth and not flower, promotes flower growth. So, but I don't think it has to be that difficult, like that complicated. I would just maybe work it into the soil or put it aside and then add it a little at a time. Mm-hmm. Depends what kind of bed you have and what kind of, like, there's no definitive answer because there's so much of it where it depends.
I think it should, you could have it rest.
Yeah.
Just take it out, let it rest for a little bit before you use it on anything tender and young.
Yeah. So, they're like all talking to each other. So.
Yeah, I love it. And Ashley, thank you. Yeah,
try to make I actually would like to just not be on the show one day and chat away with everything.
Yeah, Ashley says that our videos are so informational. Thank you all. Build my coop next month.
What is that? Hold on. I hope you didn't report my wife for asking the question. I'm in the military move. So what's going on there?
I don't.
No,
I think she was saying about
reporting scammers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like you want your mouse to be able to control the screen. I want a keyboard so I can chat with everybody.
So Eric wants to know if these are normal brownies.
Yes.
We'll find out, Eric.
What?
There's
The
brownies here.
The brownies too in there.
There's blonde brownies, and chocolate brownies with walnuts.
Yeah, so Darshell was saying she's talking about the company that's impersonating us. I think there was just I think he was referring about purchasing plans, which we don't sell plans right now. And that's a question we still get all the time.
I know. I promise everyone we're going to do it. We're just going to do it my way. And
You should do a book on how to build your own coop.
I want to. I've asked for help for many years now, and I hate reading. I don't like to read, so I don't know why I'm obsessed with having a book, but I think it's important. There's
You never know when you're going to start.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I can. I have to have that blue transparency in my eyes. I noticed my eyes are getting even worse. Now I'm going to need reading glasses soon.
Yeah. Welcome to your 40s.
I want to, well, see, I don't dare say because people are going to take my idea, so I'm not even going to talk about it, but it's along those lines.
Part of the problem with just selling plans is the logistics of it. And I think that's kind of we have people copying our Facebook page with different names and stuff. So it's just kind of, Matt's worked so hard to grow this company and build what he has. And, so we just need to protect it.
Right. We have worked very hard.
Yes.
We so many sacrifices from everyone. Yeah. All right, so they're not responding. It's like you hit it dead in the water. They just do not want to call.
They want your information.
Yeah,
Interesting.
They want your information. That's all it is. All right, so we're coming up to 1:30. Let's go ahead and let's get through the rest of the questions.
A couple more questions because we have to do other stuff after the show.
I know Ingrid's like, we're going to do some videos, and so we can't. She's going to make me stop at 1:30. But if you have any other questions, please definitely leave them in there, and we'll fire away.
Hidden Springs Stables asks, have you guys done a chicken garden / herb show? What can you grow for chickens that is healthy, good for egg production, and keeping chickens happy, especially if you're not able to free range?
We have.
Ingrid?
Well, hold on. We have.
Yes.
We absolutely have. I remember with Radio Chicken, one of the very first shows, and we should have Bethany back on. She's a horticulturalist. We did a great video with her because she used to.
That is a good idea.
She used to compost ewe manure. Yes, it's what you think it is in Africa. She's been out and done site surveys with us and has actually gone through and done the full-on planting at Chicken Coops, where she calls it companion planting and
Coopscaping.
Yep, coopscaping and bullseye gardening. And we should do that again because I think that is something that is very important because there is a much bigger picture when you're talking about your property than just the chicken coop. Mm-hmm. And you're crazy not to take advantage of the things that come from the chicken coop. And that's what I'm hoping to do here out in the front when we get more display coops up. I want to do some gardening out there because I have no idea what to do, but it'd be a great way to show off the garden.
I believe that Ingrid's working on a blog for that.
I am. I have so many things. But I'm trying to work on, the thing is that I know what I would grow, but then there's other areas where those things don't grow. But there's, like grapes are great if you have any kind of grapes. Hops is great to give cover to the coop area, gives them shade, and that's also edible. Nasturtiums are great. I know oregano is also good that people use for chickens. It's supposed to be something natural, like a natural, I don't remember what oregano does for chickens, but all sorts of kind of herbs. But it also depends on what's native to you and what is around you.
I've heard you say comfrey.
Comfrey is huge. They eat the comfrey more in the winter when there's less greens available, but yes.
Because they're not so tender, right?
Yeah, and I think it's just there's lack of greens. Like I'm not bringing them out like heads of lettuce, and there's not mustard growing everywhere. Mm-hmm. So
Amber M asked, "Do hens still go broody if they're not laying?" It's a good question.
No,
older hens.
I've never seen them go broody during the winter. I mean, they're not laying in the winter,
right?
Or older hens. That's what I was thinking. Is older hens.
Yeah.
Ashley's asking for the deep litter method. How many times? Okay. I know they're talking back and forth. Matt can't come to the phone. He is doing a live show.
Oh no! Kevin wins the.
Yeah,
Kevin,
thank you.
bring
I
the
needed
comment
that.
in.
Oh, that's great. Yes, Kevin.
There we
thank
go.
you. I needed that. Call us up or email Ingrid.
Ingrid at carolinacoops.com with your shirt size and your address. And
Or
we'll
maybe a mug. I don't know what we got left in there. We got
Yeah.
some new merch coming in
just
soon.
send me all your information. And
Yeah, so if we have some new listeners watching, Kevin Brooks just won the Golden Bell. Basically, make me laugh, have a question, contribute to something. I'm like, wow, just overwhelmed. And that was another one that's just a great, made me laugh. So thank
Ashley's
you.
question is for the deep blender method. How many times a week do you apply a new layer of like hemp?
Yeah.
You don't.
It depends.
Not how many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on how many chickens you have, how big your space is.
Right. It could
I would
be
say
once a week. It could be once a month. It really depends on your
I
nitrogen
really
load.
like it depends on smell. I like to see it get to like 50% poop before I add more if it's not smelling.
Absolutely. What's going on in that? Is he
The
still not?
scammer says, "When is your next free time?"
Now, not for weeks. I got to leave
I am-
out of country or something.
Leave out of country.
I'm on break now. How do you think of these things? You're like you know. Hold on.
She's.
How many chicks do you have? Oh boy, these people are really putting in some hard work.
Well, we should make them work for their
I have
scam.
20 in my living room. Genius. We've seen it. It happens.
That may or may not be true.
What? I thought you only had 5 chickens at your house.
Oh, I mean
Kristen?
inside the house.
Oh, inside the house. Yes.
Wow, these people are really.
He gave me a thumbs up.
Wow. You've got to get them on the phone.
Well, we're trying.
Hold on. Find out where they are. Can we come visit?
His site says Tallahassee, Florida.
Let's go to.
That one does, but the other one says Greenville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Depends on which one you go to. They're 2 pages from the same guy because it has the same email.
Oh, okay.
If we can find out where they are, we will go there. And I will do a live show.
They're probably overseas.
I understand. I mean,
But I'm game.
yeah, right.
I got a passport.
These are people sitting somewhere in another country. Just God, these scammers are unbelievable. Not drinking yet. I'll have to replay the show while cooking dinner tonight. That's funny. That's funny. For the drinking.
Yes.
Oh, and I forgot to ask people if again. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in there, but just let us know where you're watching from. That's always a huge plus. The more interaction we have, the more it helps grow the show. And please do everything you can to grow this show by sharing it. And I don't know what else you're supposed to do. I'm getting so old, I don't understand social media at all anymore. Definitely appreciate what you guys do. I learned a lot from you and built my coop based off your design. It was a lot of work. Recommend purchasing from Carolina Coops if you can. Thank you. Super Sloth.
We got someone from North Dakota.
All right, ask them.
Scamster says, Kristen, I'll let you know it's not possible now, working now, trying to install a customer's coop.
Ask them where they're located because I would love to come see a coop.
How many people does it take to buy a chicken coop from a scammer?
And let them know that you have predators.
So many predators.
Sorry.
So many predators.
Guys, everyone has predators. Everyone has predators. Trust me. Predators are everywhere.
Yes.
Don't they have a road crew
Oh,
and
yeah.
a sales team?
Yes. Wait a minute.
Can't we talk to your
Where the
sales
hell
team?
are all your other employees?
Is this the
Is
Matt?
this a one-man show?
Yeah. Is this the Matt? I thought you guys had road
He's
crews.
like you in 2008.
This is 2008 New York Matt. No, this is
oh
2008
my God,
Durham
I'm
North.
dead.
Oh, yeah, I can't ever do that. All right, it is 1:28. We're going to finish up at 1:30. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to stay on top of this. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for all the condolences and helping
you.
me get through it. It wasn't easy. I'm glad I held it together. I need this show as much as you guys do. I'll tell you that. I'm not saying you need it, but you know what I mean. We are here for each other, and I have definitely learned a lot in today's show and had a lot of fun. So next week, yes, Ingrid?
Next week,
I'm
Kristen's not going to be
away.
here.
But the next week I'm good.
But when we come back,
You could do it without me.
No, I'm telling you, it is not. It didn't feel the same when Ingrid went.
Yeah,
left for. You know what I mean? It's all of a sudden.
Yeah, we're a trio.
Yes.
I just went to the bathroom. For Pete's sake.
I didn't want to.
But the show almost failed in that like 1 minute. Like we almost went down the tubes.
Really? You had a big plate
Like
of
we
cookies.
had
What
like
happened?
everybody leave the show. Too.
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
everyone,
know.
everyone
I-
had to
that,
sit
that did not
in.
happen.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Stay safe out there, and we will see you, I guess, in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Later.